Sri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namaha. Then Saunaka Rishi asked Sutta Goswami. Saunaka Rishi was a pure devotee and he was in communication with the Super Soul. So the Super Soul seated in everyone's heart is equal. So Saunaka Rishi, because he was in connection with the Super Soul, could understand what the 88,000 rishis gathered near him wanted to know. So, Saunaka Rishi asked, Aswasthamam naiva srushtena brahma shirino katejasa uttaraya hato garbha ishena jivita puna. Please tell how Aswasthama released this nuclear weapon named Brahmastra to destroy the fetus of Uttara. Baby in Uttara's womb was growing, and Aswasthama knew that. He wanted to kill the whole dynasty of Pandavas. He did not want Pandavas' dynasty go forward. So he shot. Those days they could only kill certain person whom they wanted to kill. So Aswasthama did not want to kill the female, the mother of the baby. He wanted to kill inside mother. So mother will remain safe. So Saunaka Rishi was curious how the baby survived from the nuclear weapon Brahmastra of Aswasthama. Can you please tell? Can you narrate this? Saunaka Rishi was not interested in worldly talks. He did not want to know anything worldly. He asked about the womb of Devaki, Uttara, because in the womb of Uttara was a great devotee. So, Tasya janma mahabuddhe karmani cha mahatmana. That great devotee who is inside the womb, greatly intelligent, how he took birth if he was shot by Brahmastra weapon. Then he asked, Nirdharam cha tathaivasit sa pritya gatavan yatha. Please tell about his death also. If you tell about his birth, also tell how he died. What was the cause of his death? See? When a devotee becomes pure, he relates with the super soul. He knows that his ordinary devotee's death is also not ordinary. One time one devotee asked me, how come these sages and saintly people and devotees who are great, they have problems? Why they face problems? They should not be facing problems. That means God, he is thinking that God is a servant or order carrier of a devotee. No, devotee does not want God to become an ordinary carrier, order carrier. So Sutta Goswami was asked all this. Yudhishthira was Ajatasatru. He had no enemies. But others thought he is their enemy. Others thought. But Yudhishthira never thought others are their enemy. A devotee never thinks somebody else is their enemy. If anybody thinks it's their enemy, then he is not a devotee. Yudhishthira Maharaj was ruling Earth planet, and he was not happy being in Kali Yuga. He was always meditating how he would take care of his people, even though miserable inside, due to being Kali Yuga. Devotee is never happy being in Kali Yuga, because in Kali Yuga there are so many problems. Devotee faces those problems different than the materialists face their problems. Devotee takes shelter of Lord Kṛṣṇa, and materialists take shelter of their wealth and prosperity. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was Krishna's devotee, and he wanted Kṛṣṇa to be with him always. When Parikshit Maharaj was inside the womb, Ashwasthama released his Brahmastra weapon. He wanted to burn the baby. And when Brahmastra reached the baby inside the womb, and Parikshit Maharaj as a fetus, small, yet not grown, felt burning sensation, and he meditated on Paramatma. And he meditated on Paramatma, and he saw the four-armed form of the Lord wearing yellow garments and ornaments, holding conch disc, lotus flower and a club in his hand. He saw, and he prayed to, the baby prayed to the Lord. And saw that Lord was swinging his club, swinging around the baby, swinging the club, and made the Brahmastra weapon become powerless, extinguished. Then Parikshit Maharaj, when Brahmastra got extinguished, Parikshit Maharaj did not feel heat anymore. And then he thought, who is this four-armed person? He looks so beautiful. When he thought like that, Lord disappeared from him. Because Lord's job was done. Lord's job is to protect his devotees and destroy the non-devotees. Those who are non-devotees, they are not liked by Kṛṣṇa, and those who are devotees, they are loved by Kṛṣṇa. Devotee means chanting japa, being clean, pure vegetarian, takes only prasadam, has taken initiation from a guru who is authorized by ancient Vedic scriptures written in Sanskrit Devanagari, and executes devotional service whenever it is possible. Studies Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and lives very simply. When the baby took birth, Brahmanas were invited by Yudhishthira Maharaj. They chanted mantra and they performed a fire sacrifice on 11th day. Either that is called a name giving ceremony. Either it happens on 11th day or 18th day or 27th day. Depends on the star the child is born. So the child was born to Uttaraj, Parikshit Maharaj. That was a devotee, happened to be 11th day. The Brahmanas were self-realized souls. They were chanting mantras and they could understand that the baby was protected by the Lord's club in the womb from Brahmastra. They understood that. When fire sacrifice was held, they repeated the name. They gave a name to the baby because he was protected by Lord Vishnu. Therefore, his name was called Vishnurat. They gave him the name Vishnurat, means attached to Lord Vishnu. Rat means attached, only wants to live for Lord Vishnu, to please Lord Vishnu. Because he will examine everyone, that's why his name will become Parikshit later on. But on the name giving ceremony, Brahmanas gave him the name Vishnurat. As per astrological calculation, his name was Vishnurat. When child takes birth in the house of someone, this house becomes contaminated. Those who live in that house, they all remain contaminated. They are not allowed to enter in the temple for that many days, where astrologer decides how many days after the fire sacrifice will take place in the house. They cannot mingle with any pure people. They cannot go to sanctified places like Ganges or Yamuna or holy places. They cannot invite any sadhu and saint and Brahmin in the house until fire sacrifice takes place. Either it's a birth ceremony day for sacrifice or for death ceremony days. And death ceremony days for everyone is fixed 13th day. 12 days they remain contaminated. 13th day there will be fire sacrifice and Brahmana will come. Some people do on 12th day anyway, no problem. After name-giving ceremony, Yudhishthira Maharaj asked the Brahmins, can you please tell how the child will grow, how the child will be, how the child's future will be, how much he will study, what will be his nature, what will be his habits, how will he rule? Because Yudhishthira Maharaj knew they have to go, sacrifice, resign. Panchasvardham vanam brajet. When a man becomes 50 years old, he should resign from the household activities. Nowadays in the world there is 65 years or so many years. But at least after retirement from job, must take to spiritual life seriously and not do anything material, nothing. Resign from family life. That is the rule. So Yudhishthira Maharaj knew that they have to resign and this child will become a king. And Kali Yuga has come, is living in the kingdom, but is not influencing yet. How he will deal with Kali Yuga. He wanted to know. Yudhishthira wanted to know, so Brahmins will reply. They said that child will rule his subject very honestly. He is a great devotee of the Lord, a natural devotee. He will not compromise with non-Vedic people and he will handle Kali Yuga very carefully. But there is one bad planet in his horoscope, that is that he will be cursed by a Brahmin boy. They predicted this. He will be cursed by a Brahmin boy. And hearing the curse, he will resign everything from his kingdom, leave his kingdom and go to the bank of Ganges, where all sages and saints will come, and he will hear for 7 days glories of Kṛṣṇa, and he will relinquish his body and go back to Godhead. This child is meant to go back to Godhead. So Yudhishthira Maharaj heard this and he was very satisfied. That child is meant to go back to Godhead. But this child will always be curious every day, till the departure day to Ganges, till he reaches the Ganges after being cursed. He will be always curious about the Supreme Lord he saw while he was in the womb. When child grows 6 months in the womb, he develops all the senses. That's why husband or reads Śrīmad Bhāgavatam to the baby, reads about God, Kṛṣṇa, or invites a Brahmin daily who comes and reads and speaks to that pregnant lady from 6 months complete. After that 7th month it begins till birth. That is the law of scriptures. That's why nowadays they don't care, they don't know, they don't want to know. That when woman becomes pregnant after 6 months, what they should do, they don't know. That's why children don't act right. They become obnoxious. They become rowdies. They don't follow, the disobedient. They become irreligious. They don't know what God is. They don't know what is after death, because they are not educated. Education begins when child reaches 6 months. So child will want to know whole his life, who was that person whom I saw inside the womb? Where did he go? Everybody has that person inside. That four-armed Lord is seated in everyone's heart. He wants to know, if this person came to see me, does he have the same Lord inside? Like that. He will perform horse sacrifice, 3 of them, like you did. The Pandits are telling Yudhishthira, because Yudhishthira Maharaj also performed 3 horse sacrifices. So he will perform 3 horse sacrifices. Your dynasty will carry on. He will produce children. They said, he will win all the directions. Nobody will be able to defeat him. All this they heard. Lord Kṛṣṇa reached Dwaraka. When Lord Kṛṣṇa reached Dwaraka, all the residents there, they welcomed him. And they presented prayers to him. They prayed to him and said, your separation for one moment is equal to 1 yuga for us. 1 moment separation from Lord Kṛṣṇa is equal to 1 yuga for a devotee. Yugaitum nimisena chakhyasa prabrasaitum Sunyayitam jagat sarvam Govinda birahename. Without Govinda viraha, separation from the Lord, even for 1 moment is equal to 1 yuga. Yugayitam. In Sanskrit, yuga and also is said to be 12 years. 12 years becomes one yuga. So, when Lord Krishna heard this, he smiled at them and said that you are natural devotees. So natural devotee is always attached to Lord Krishna. You don't want separation from Lord Krishna for 1 second. They do not want to avoid devotional service, not for 1 day. They do not want to relinquish their devotion even for 1 day. They want to follow the words of their Guru all the time. What they promised in the fire, at the time of fire sacrifice to their Guru, they keep it till their last breath. That is called devotee. Thank you very much.